But in the world of rare coins, reality often beats fiction. And today, we're diving into the story of the 2000 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a simple-looking coin that's causing a frenzy in the numismatic world and selling for as high as $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.1 million. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, not another coin hype video, let me stop you there. This isn't about a get-rich-quick fantasy. It's about uncovering real opportunities that are hiding in plain sight. So hang tight, because you're about to discover how something you may have tossed in a change jar years ago could change your financial destiny forever. And by the end of this video, you'll not only know why this penny is so valuable, but also how to spot one, how to sell it for maximum value, and why demand is skyrocketing right now. And hey, just for fun, when's the last time you checked under your couch cushions? Because if you find a 2000 no-mint mark penny there, you may want to cancel your 9 to 5. Let's rewind for a second. The year was 2000. The Y2K panic had just fizzled out, the world was going digital, and the US Mint was producing billions of coins. But tucked among all that mass production, something unexpected slipped through the cracks. A rare batch of 2000 Lincoln pennies without a mint mark, carrying mysterious imperfections and die anomalies. These weren't your everyday coins. In fact, collectors quickly noticed that some of these pennies exhibited doubling errors, especially on the reverse side where 1 cent or the Lincoln Memorial would show shadow-like images. Others were struck on the wrong planchets, or had ghost-like faded features due to weak strikes. And with no visible mint mark, they sparked an even greater level of intrigue. As you probably know, the absence of a mint mark typically points to the Philadelphia Mint. But in 2000, such errors were not common, making the no-mint mark version of this penny a hot item for error coin collectors and high-end investors alike. The result? A storm of bidding wars at auctions, private collectors vying for top specimens, and one penny reportedly selling for a jaw-dropping $1.10 million. Now, let's pause here for a second. A penny that costs less than a piece of chewing gum turning into a millionaire's artifact? That's not just luck, that's legacy, history, and a window of opportunity you don't want to miss. So here's the million-dollar question. Literally, how do you find one of these? And more importantly, how do you know if the penny in your hand is the one that could change your life? Start with the basics. Grab a magnifying glass and examine every 2000 Lincoln penny you have. Look for a lack of a mint mark just under the date. Now inspect the coin's condition. Is there doubling? Any odd striking? Signs of a weak die or a misaligned planchet? If yes, don't drop it back in the piggy bank. Instead, send that penny to a certified grading service like PCGS or NGC. Authentication is key. Once certified, your coin moves from being a maybe to being a hot item on collector markets. And here's where it gets really exciting. The demand for rare error coins has exploded in the past 5 years, thanks to rising interest from investors seeking tangible assets, coin YouTubers spreading the word, and nostalgic collectors looking to complete their Lincoln series. And here's your emotional trigger. Imagine holding on to that coin for years, only to later learn it was worth $1.10 million. But you gave it away or spent it on a candy bar. That's the kind of regret no one wants. That's why the urgency is now, because as more of these rare pennies are found and sold, scarcity increases, and so does value. This isn't just about making money. It's about seizing the kind of opportunity most people overlook. The kind that rewards curiosity, attention to detail, and the courage to believe that wealth doesn't always wear a suit. Sometimes, it jingles in your pocket. So here we are, at the end of a journey that started with a humble coin and led us to million-dollar possibilities. The 2000 no-mint mark penny isn't just a collector's dream, it's living proof that opportunity hides in unexpected places. Now, don't just sit there thinking, wow, that was interesting. Do something about it. Go check your change jars, your old purses, that dusty drawer filled with coins from years past. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button, because this is just the beginning. We're diving deep into the world of coins that could buy you a beach house, a luxury car, or early retirement. We're diving into a story that's not only real but might just rewrite your financial future. A humble penny, minted in 1989, with no mint mark, has made headlines, fetching an astonishing $1.2 million on the collector's market. Yes, a single cent turned into a millionaire maker. And no, this isn't some far-fetched fairy tale. It's happening. It has happened. And if you're watching this, it might happen to you next. Now, before you shrug this off thinking, "Come on, it's just a penny," let me remind you that history has a funny way of hiding treasure in plain sight. Hidden beneath the coppery surface of this ordinary-looking coin lies a flaw, an error so rare, so historically significant, and so financially valuable that collectors are battling to get their hands on it. The 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has become a symbol of what's possible when ordinary people spot extraordinary opportunities. So, how does a regular-looking coin with a missing mint mark reach millionaire status? What makes this penny so powerful? And could you unknowingly be sitting on one right now? Let's take a closer look, but be warned, by the end of this video, you might never look at your pocket change the same way again. Now, let's break it down. The US Mint typically places mint marks on coins to indicate where they were made: Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, you name it. But in 1989, a limited batch of pennies were accidentally released without this essential detail. A missing mint mark might sound minor, but in the world of coin collecting, it's like finding a vintage car with factory flaws. Anomaly equals rarity, and rarity equals astronomical value. These minting errors weren't meant to exist. They slipped through quality control at the US Mint and ended up in circulation like any other penny. That's where the magic lies. These coins look ordinary. They feel ordinary. But their value is anything but. One of these 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million at auction, an all-time high that sparked a buying frenzy across the country. Coin dealers, investors, and even everyday Americans are now on the hunt. Still think your loose change is boring? Here's a question for you. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny before tossing it into a jar or glove compartment? Exactly. Most people never check. That's the pattern. And that's what we're interrupting today. Because this isn't just about a coin, it's about missed opportunities. And we're not letting this one pass you by. Let's be honest for a second. How many times have you dropped a penny and just kept walking? Be real. Maybe you even told yourself, "It's just a cent, not worth the effort." Well, joke's on us, because that 1 cent coin might have been worth more than your entire car. Or your house. If this penny had a LinkedIn profile, its job title would read, "Silent Millionaire." There's a reason this coin is creating waves in numismatic circles. The 1989 no-mint mark penny has become the modern-day gold rush, a rare asset with limited supply and skyrocketing demand. Wealthy collectors are aggressively searching for high-grade examples. Coin grading agencies are verifying authenticity. The market is hot. And time is running out. Every day, more of these rare pennies are being found, authenticated, and locked into private collections, never to be seen again. Imagine stumbling upon one in your old coin jar, or tucked inside an inherited box of pocket change. What would you do with $1.2 million? Retire early? Pay off your home? Travel the world? Fund your child's future? This isn't fantasy, it's a real path people are walking right now. So, if you're serious about wealth, about securing your financial future, here's your moment. Start checking your pennies. Examine them under light. Look for that missing mint mark. Learn what to spot. This isn't just about collecting, it's about capitalizing. The window is open, but not for long, and here's the cliffhanger. There's another error on a coin from this same year that's even rarer, but almost no one knows about it. We'll reveal that secret in an upcoming video. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Before you go digging through your couch cushions or running to your old coin stash, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're unlocking the secrets of rare coins and showing everyday people how to turn copper into cash. Literally. If you want to be the first to know about coins worth thousands, even millions, you're in the right place. This channel is your treasure map. All you have to do is follow it. Check your change, stay curious, and as always, never underestimate the power of a penny. We're uncovering the jaw-dropping story of the 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that has surged in value to a staggering $1.3 million due to its rare error and growing collector demand. This isn't just a coin. It's a ticket to a new life, and it could be sitting in your pocket right now. Before you dismiss this as another internet legend, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to authenticate it, and most importantly, how to sell it smartly if you're lucky enough to own one. And trust me, you'll want to watch till the very end because the twist behind this coin's massive value might just blow your mind. But hey, if you thought all pennies were worthless change, get ready. This is going to flip your world upside down, in a good way. Let's rewind for a moment. It's 1980, Ronald Reagan is campaigning for president, disco is dying, and the US Mint is producing billions of Lincoln pennies. But somewhere along the way, something strange happens. A small batch of these pennies was struck without a mint mark, an error that defied standard procedure. These coins weren't meant to go unnoticed, but they did. Now, most 1980 pennies carry a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But a no-mint mark coin typically means it was minted in Philadelphia. Except in this case, that's not the whole story. Because while Philadelphia coins usually lack a mint mark, some 1980 no-mint mark pennies were struck using a rare misaligned die, giving them unusual and distinct visual errors, doubling, off-centering, and even odd texture patterns that sent coin collectors into a frenzy. Let me ask you this. When's the last time you actually looked at your spare change? You might be walking around with a coin worth 6 figures in your wallet right now. Suddenly, those pennies don't seem so small, do they? What makes the 1980 no-mint mark penny so valuable isn't just the minting error, it's the combination of rarity, historical timing, and overwhelming demand from collectors who will pay top dollar for verified specimens. It's like striking gold, but with copper. What's heavier? A pound of feathers or a pound of copper pennies? Trick question. They're both the same, but one of them might buy you a luxury vacation to the Maldives if you check closely enough. Alright, now that I've got you smiling again, let's dive into what gives this 1980 penny its $1 million appeal, and how you can be part of this rare money revolution. Not all 1980 no-mint mark pennies are valuable, but the ones with specific error traits, like strong die doubling on Lincoln's face or lettering, off-center strikes, or a slight reddish tint due to improper alloy mixing, are extremely scarce and prized by elite collectors and auction houses. In early 2024, one of these coins with a prominent doubling error and pristine condition sold for $1.3 million at a private estate auction. The reason? It checked every box: rarity, minting flaw, historical context, and almost perfect preservation. That's what we call the Quadfecta of coin collecting. And guess what? Yours could be next. Examine your coin closely under bright light or with a magnifier. Look for doubling, missing details, or unusual luster. Step 2. Get it authenticated by a certified coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their stamp of approval can increase your coin's value tenfold. And step 3. Don't just list it on eBay and hope for the best. Consult with a rare coin broker or auction house that knows how to maximize its market potential. Now, here's the cliffhanger. What if I told you there's a second version of the 1980 no-mint mark penny that has never been sold publicly, and experts believe it could be worth over $2 million? We'll explore that mystery in an upcoming video, but only if you're subscribed. So stay tuned. Let's take a moment to dream. Imagine paying off your mortgage, starting a business, or gifting your kids the college education you never had, all because of one coin. That's the kind of reality we're talking about here. This isn't a fantasy. It's a movement. The 1980 no-mint mark penny represents more than copper and cents. It symbolizes missed opportunities, hidden value, and the ultimate underdog story. You don't need to dig for treasure when it might already be sitting in your pocket. So don't just walk away from this video and forget it. Go check your change jars. Look in your old drawers. Dig out that coin collection your grandfather left behind. That penny could be your moment, And if you want to keep discovering coins like this, rare pieces of American history worth hundreds of thousands or even millions, then hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and join our growing community of coin hunters turning spare change into serious wealth. We're diving deep into the story of the 1969 D Lincoln penny era coin, a rare gem that could be hiding in your coin jar right now. And if you're one of the many people looking to cash in on hidden treasures tucked away in old drawers and forgotten piggy banks, this could be the most important 10 minutes of your financial journey. But hang tight. Before you race off to rummage through your loose change, there's a critical twist to this story that most people overlook. In fact, missing this one detail could cost you millions. So stay with me, because the value of what you might be holding is no joke, and the market is booming for these rare finds. Now, let's unpack what makes the 1969 D Lincoln penny so special, and so extraordinarily valuable. First off, this isn't your average penny. Minted in Denver in 1969, this particular version of the coin contains a rare and highly sought-after die error, a doubling of the date and lettering, which numismatists refer to as a doubled die obverse. Why does that matter? Because this kind of doubling is not just a cosmetic flaw, it's a printing anomaly that occurred during the minting process, making each of these coins an accidental masterpiece. It's like having a misprinted first edition of a best-selling novel. Only this one is made of copper and could fetch over $1 million at auction. Let's pause for a second. How many pennies have you held in your lifetime? Hundreds? Thousands? Now imagine one of them holding the key to financial freedom. Sounds dramatic? It is. Because the last known auction sale of a 1969 D-era penny hit over $1.4 million, and demand from private collectors has only skyrocketed since then. And here's where the urgency kicks in. As word spreads, more and more of these coins are being snapped up, disappearing into private collections, never to re-enter the open market. The opportunity window? It's closing. Fast out, here's a little pattern interrupt for you. Imagine explaining to your neighbor that the reason you just paid off your mortgage wasn't a lucky lottery ticket, but a lucky Lincoln penny. How's that for a conversation starter at your next backyard barbecue? Now, if you're wondering how you can cash in, here's what you need to know. First, inspect any 1969 penny you come across. Look closely for the D mint mark below the date. Next, grab a magnifying glass and look for that telltale doubling in the word "Liberty in God We Trust" and the date itself. If you're unsure, don't panic. Get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Time for a little reality check. Most people will miss this. They'll overlook it, brush it off, or simply not take the time. But not you. You're watching this because you believe in smart investing, in seizing once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, and in building a legacy that lasts. And for those thinking, come on, how rare can it really be? Well, here's the twist. Even though the US Mint produced billions of pennies, only a tiny handful of these 1969 D double die errors are confirmed to exist. That's right, less than a dozen high-grade examples are known, making this one of the rarest and most desired Lincoln pennies in the world. Still with me? Good, because here comes the cliffhanger that'll keep you up tonight. One of these $1 million pennies was once found in a random roll of coins from a bank. That's right, someone walked in with $20 and walked out holding over $1 million. If that doesn't make you want to check every coin in your house, I don't know what will. So what are you waiting for? Go check that dusty coin jar, flip through your coin collection, and keep your eyes peeled. The 1969 D penny is not just copper, it's currency for a new life. And if you want to keep learning about the rarest coins, the biggest errors, and the insider secrets to spotting them before anyone else does, make sure to subscribe to the channel right now. Tap that notification bell because we've got more hidden treasures, collector secrets, and money-making coin stories coming your way every week. Remember, wealth doesn't always come from hard work alone. Sometimes, it comes from knowledge, timing, and being ready when opportunity strikes. The 1969 D Lincoln penny is proof that even the smallest things can carry unimaginable value. But what if I told you that very penny could be worth not 1, not 10, but $1.5 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But stay with me, because the truth behind the 2014 no mint mark penny is going to completely change how you look at the coins in your drawer. And the craziest part? You could already have it, right now, without even realizing it. The 2014 Lincoln cent was struck during a year of immense production. Billions were minted. Most are worth just 1 cent, dusty, forgotten. But a few slipped through the cracks. Incredibly rare error coins were created. These weren't just minor misprints. We're talking about dramatic double dies, off-center strikes, and jaw-dropping planchet errors that collectors would battle over in bidding wars. And the most sought after among them? A flawless 2014 no mint mark penny with a rare error that shook the numismatic world, one that recently fetched an astonishing $1.5 million at a private auction. Now here's where it gets exciting. These errors are so subtle, most people wouldn't even recognize them. That means thousands of these valuable coins could still be sitting in everyday change, piggy banks, old jars, or even under your car seat. Are your palms sweating yet? Because they should be. You might be wondering, how did such a small coin end up being worth more than most people make in a lifetime? It comes down to rarity, demand, and a growing frenzy among collectors. The 2014 no mint mark era penny has become a numismatic legend. And as fewer of these coins are discovered, the value continues to skyrocket. Pause for a moment. Have you ever thrown a penny into a fountain and made a wish to be rich? Well, joke's on you, the wish was already in your hand, and you tossed it away like a soggy fortune cookie. Let that sink in. Now, back to the treasure hunt. Let's talk urgency. Every day, another 2014 no mint mark penny gets lost forever, spent unknowingly, worn down, or thrown into a Coinstar machine. It's a race against time. And that's what makes this journey so thrilling. You don't need a metal detector. You don't need a museum or a vault. You just need to know what to look for. This isn't just about finding a rare coin, it's about rewriting your financial story. That 1 cent piece could be the turning point. Imagine paying off your mortgage, funding your dream business, or retiring early, all because of one forgotten coin. That's not a fantasy. That's real. That's happening. And it could happen to you. One very specific error, so small you need a magnifier to spot it, makes the coin go from 1 cent to $1.5 million. What is it? We're getting there. But first, let's look at why now is the perfect time to act. The numismatic market is hotter than ever. With economic shifts, digital currencies rising, and collectors flooding online marketplaces, rare coins have become a solid hedge, a new form of tangible investment. And pennies like the 2014 no mint mark error have seen unprecedented demand. Auction houses are scouting. Collectors are scrambling. And sellers? They're cashing in. So here's the opportunity. Start looking now. Don't delay. That drawer of forgotten coins could be a jackpot. That jar in your garage could hold your early retirement. All you need is a few minutes, a sharp eye, or a magnifying glass, and the knowledge you're gaining right here. Okay, remember that tiny, $1 million detail I mentioned earlier? It's called the double die obverse, a striking error that creates a shadow-like doubling on the words, liberty, or, in God we trust. Spot that, and your penny isn't just lucky, it's legendary. Now, don't go tearing up your couch cushions just yet. Okay, maybe do. But promise me this. When you find your $1 million penny, don't use it to pay for a cup of coffee. You'll never forgive yourself. This is more than just a story about a rare coin. It's about finding wealth where others see nothing. It's about being aware, being prepared, and being the one who turns an everyday object into a life-changing discovery. So, here's your mission. Go check your coins, seriously, right after this video ends. Get your hands on a magnifier. Learn the signs. And most importantly, subscribe to this channel because we've only just scratched the surface. I'll be guiding you through more hidden treasures, more $1 million coins, and smarter ways to build real wealth from the unknown. Yes, we're talking about a simple 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny, something you may have seen 1,000 times but never looked at twice. But this specific coin is not just old, it's rare, it's in high demand, and collectors are offering jaw-dropping amounts for it. And believe it or not, it's turning everyday people into millionaires. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? Seriously? How can something worth 1 cent be worth over $1 million? Stick with me, because what you're about to discover might just make your heart skip a beat. We're going deep into a real-life American success story buried in copper, a coin that breaks the rules, dodges expectations, and explodes in value. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why the 1988 no-mint mark penny is commanding six-figure bids and how to identify if you're lucky enough to own one. But before we get too far ahead, let's rewind. Why this coin? Why 1988? And why are collectors literally hunting for it like modern-day treasure hunters? Back in 1988, the US Mint produced billions of pennies. Most carried the usual mint marks, D for Denver, S for San Francisco. But a rare batch left the mint without any mark at all. These no-mint mark pennies were produced in Philadelphia, which typically doesn't use a mint mark for pennies. So far, sounds ordinary. But here's where it gets extraordinary. A tiny detail, barely visible to the naked eye, changed everything. On some of these 1988 no-mint mark pennies, the design of the FG, initials, standing for Frank Gasparo, the coin's designer, is from an entirely different year. It's known as the 1989 reverse on a 1988 obverse. That's right, a design mismatch. It's what collectors call a transitional error, and it's one of the most sought after in numismatics. Think of it like a baseball card printed with the wrong stats, or a luxury car that somehow came off the line with prototype parts. Rare? Yes. Valuable? Absolutely. And just like that, the 1988 penny transforms from pocket change into a coin that commands a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. But don't go flipping your couch cushions just yet. Because there's more to this story, including what makes one of these pennies worth millions, while others, even similar ones, are still just worth a cent. Imagine this. You find a penny, your hands start trembling, your cat thinks you've lost your mind, and your spouse thinks you're losing your grip over a lucky coin. But then, you check it online and find out it's worth more than your house. Who's laughing now? Now let's talk urgency. These coins are being snapped up fast. The demand from collectors and dealers is skyrocketing, and fewer high-grade specimens are left in circulation every year. It's not just about owning one, it's about owning one before they disappear from the public eye completely. When something rare becomes known, the market doesn't wait. First, grab a magnifying glass. Seriously. Look closely at the Lincoln Memorial on the back of the coin. Check for the FG initials, and compare it with verified images of the 1989 reverse. If the FG appears closer to the building, you've got the rare 1989 reverse. That's your $1 million clue. Second, if you think you have it, don't sell it at your local pawn shop. Please don't. These coins need to be authenticated and graded by professionals like PCGS or NGC. A verified, high-grade example can make all the difference between a few $100s and a seven-figure payout. Here's where the excitement and opportunity come together. Coins like the 1988 no-mint mark penny are more than just copper. They're history, mystery, and money all wrapped into one tiny, shiny disc. And while most people walk past coins on the street, thinking they're worthless, you now know something they don't. Knowledge is wealth. Literally. And here's the cliffhanger you've been waiting for. We've just scratched the surface. There are other pennies just like this, 1983, 1992, 1999, with errors that can make you rich. But most people don't know what to look for. Will you? If you want to learn how to spot these treasures, build your coin hunting knowledge, and maybe, just maybe, unlock the hidden value in your pocket, then you need to subscribe right now. Join a growing community of people who turn their curiosity into cash and their hobby into a high-value lifestyle. Because let's face it, while others are scrolling, wasting time, you could be flipping pennies into prosperity. This isn't just a hobby, it's a strategy for wealth. Imagine this. You're cleaning out your kitchen drawer, rummaging through old receipts, paper clips, and bam, there it is. A shiny copper penny dated 2020 with a little D mark below the date. You toss it aside without a second thought. But what if I told you that little coin could be worth $1.7 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, you might just want to dig through that junk drawer again, because the 2020 D Lincoln penny has become one of the most unexpectedly valuable coins in modern U.S. history. Before you write it off as just another penny, let me walk you through a story, an incredible, real-life discovery that has stunned collectors, excited everyday Americans, and lit a fire under the coin-collecting world. You're not going to want to miss this, especially if you've been searching for a path to financial freedom hiding in plain sight. Stick around, because in just a few minutes you'll learn what makes this coin so special, how errors transformed it into a treasure, and why collectors are desperately hunting it down as we speak. Now let's rewind to the year 2020. It was a year of unpredictability, tension, and change. But while most of the world was focused on the chaos, a quiet revolution was unfolding in pockets, piggy banks, and spare change jars across America. The Denver Mint had struck millions of pennies as usual. But a small batch, an extremely limited run, emerged with flaws that would turn these otherwise ordinary coins into numismatic gold. One collector in Colorado stumbled upon what he thought was a regular 2020 D penny while cashing in change at a local grocery store. Something about the coin felt different. A slightly off-centered strike, a curious doubling in the letters, Liberty, and a subtle misalignment near Lincoln's eye. He held onto it, curious. Fast forward to today, and that same coin has fetched an eye-watering $1.7 million at auction. Now, you might be wondering, how does a penny, a coin worth 1 cent, sell for the kind of money people pay for beachside mansions? The answer lies in rarity, demand, and one magical word: errors. Error coins are like nature's artistic accidents, each one unique, unpredictable, and wildly valuable to collectors who know what they're looking for. This 2020 D penny isn't just any coin. It's a perfect storm, a rare die error during minting, an immaculate condition that survived circulation, and a time in history where collectors are racing to find the next big thing. Add the mystique of a modern coin making headlines, and suddenly, you have a market frenzy. Now hold on. Let me just pause here and ask, when was the last time a coin in your pocket bought you a new car, a year's salary, or even a retirement home? Never? Yeah, same here, until now. So if your idea of treasure hunting used to involve pirates and maps, guess what? These days, it might just be your local gas station giving you change for a coffee. Imagine the moment you walk into a collector's expo with this tiny penny in a plastic sleeve, not knowing what to expect. Appraisers gather. Whispers fill the room. A few silent nods later, someone leans over and says, "Sir? Ma'am, do you know what you have here?" Your heart skips. Your palms sweat. And that's when it hits you. That innocent penny has just changed your life. But here's the truth: opportunities like this don't wait around. They don't wave flags or ring bells. They hide in plain sight, disguised as pocket change, lying at the bottom of your coin jar or forgotten in your car's cup holder. This isn't about luck, it's about knowing what to look for, and taking action before someone else beats you to it. This particular 2020 D penny is now one of the most sought-after coins by top-tier collectors across the globe. They're offering tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands, for examples with similar error patterns. The market is hot, competitive, and getting hotter by the day. So here's my question for you. Are you going to let that opportunity slip by, or are you going to check your change and take your shot? In the next video, we'll dive into exactly how to identify a $1 million error, where people are selling these coins for record-breaking prices, and why the demand is expected to surge even more in the coming months. Trust me, you do not want to miss it. If this video lit a spark, if it got your heart racing, and if you're ready to join the thousands of smart collectors who are turning coins into cash and trash into treasure, make sure to subscribe right now. Hit the bell so you're first to know when we reveal the next high-value coin that could be hiding in your home. Share this with someone who keeps tossing their change into a drawer, because they might just be sitting on a fortune. We're diving into one such coin that's rocked the coin collecting world and made headlines in auctions, the legendary 1992 D Lincoln penny with a rare and valuable error. Current market value? A staggering $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right, million with an before you laugh it off as another. Get rich quick. YouTube promise, stay with me. This isn't a fantasy. This is backed by real collectors, real auctions, and real money. If you're someone who's held onto old coins, inherited a coin jar from your grandparents, or stumbled across a dusty penny in your car's cup holder, you need to know what to look for. Because the 1992 D-Close AM penny isn't just rare, it's life-changingly rare. And in this video, we're going to uncover everything: the history, the error, how to identify it, and why it's so highly sought after by collectors today. So, take a deep breath. That little copper coin could be your golden ticket. To understand the gravity of the 1992 D penny, you have to go back to a subtle design change by the US Mint that almost no one noticed at first. In the early 1990s, the Mint began transitioning the reverse design of the Lincoln Memorial Cent. Most pennies minted in 1992 should show a wide gap between the letters A and M in America on the reverse side. But in a small, unintended batch of pennies from the Denver Mint, this spacing was off, way off. The letters are close together, hence the name, Close AM, variety. And here's the kicker: these coins were never meant to be released to the public. That tiny design mistake created one of the most desirable modern coin errors in American numismatic history. Now, here's the attention reset. How many of you just pulled out your wallet and looked at your pennies? I'll wait. Don't worry, it's a normal reaction. Because this isn't some ancient coin you have to dig up from a Roman ruin. This is a 1992 penny. A coin you might have right now. And just to dial up the excitement a bit, here's a twist. In 2012, one such 1992 D-Close AM penny was discovered in near-perfect condition and sold at auction for well over 6 figures. But that wasn't the end, more were found. And now, as awareness grows and demand surges, this once overlooked error coin has reached a market value of $1.8 million. That's a house. That's a dream retirement. That's the wealth shift collector's dream of. Let's talk identification. This is where dreams either come alive, or you realize you need to keep hunting. Flip that 1992 D penny over. Look at the word America on the reverse. If the letters A and M are touching or nearly touching at the base, you could be holding a Close AM variety. The correct, common version has a wide space. The Close AM version? Jackpot potential. But here's what you need to know: condition is king. Collectors and auction houses look for clean edges, minimal wear, and sharp strike details. And if you think you've got something promising, don't clean it. Never clean a coin, it can devalue it instantly. Time is ticking. Every year that goes by, fewer of these coins remain in good condition. Some are lost. Some are damaged. Some are still buried in drawers or tossed into vending machines unknowingly. And that's why urgency matters. The window to find one of these coins and cash in while demand is sky high is narrowing. Here's another little cliffhanger for you. What if I told you that one collector found a 1992 D-Close AM in a roll of pennies they bought from a local bank for just 50 cents? I'll tell you how that story ends in a minute. But first, today, wealthy collectors, investors, and even international buyers are battling for ownership of these high-value error coins. And it's not just for the coin, it's for the prestige. Owning a 1992 D-Close AM penny is like owning a rare piece of American history. It's a status symbol. And like fine art or vintage cars, its value only grows with time. Right now, the most pristine known specimens are reaching, and even exceeding, the $1.8 million mark. That's not hypothetical. That's real cash being handed over at exclusive auctions. And with only a few confirmed examples in top condition, the competition is fierce. Coin dealers have waiting lists. Private buyers are making offers before coins even go public. It's a modern treasure hunt, and the prize is worth more than gold. Let me circle back to that bankroll story. A man in Ohio, a part-time collector with zero auction experience, found a 1992 D-close AM penny in a roll he got from his credit union. He sent it in for grading, came back MS-67 red. It sold for 6 figures. Life changed. House paid off. He didn't just find a coin, he unlocked his future. So, here's the big question: have you checked your 1992 pennies yet? Because the next big discovery could be in your hands. Don't let doubt or delay rob you of the chance to change your financial future. Take action. Check your coins. Get educated. Join the community of collectors who are turning history into opportunity. And if you found this video helpful, inspiring, or just plain exciting, then subscribe to this channel right now. Because every week, we bring you stories just like this. Coins worth thousands. Errors worth millions. And strategies that everyday Americans are using to create wealth from what most people overlook. You're not just collecting coins, you're collecting possibilities. So stick with us, and let's unlock them together. We're diving deep into one of the most astonishing stories in modern coin collecting, the 1982 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Yes, the one that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.10 million. Now, before you rush to your coin stash or start flipping through old piggy banks, let me ask you something. Have you ever thought about how many treasures you've possibly ignored over the years, thinking they were worthless? This story might just give you goosebumps, and a reason to check again. The year was 1982, a time of transition for the U.S. Mint. The penny was undergoing a fundamental change. Due to rising copper prices, the mint shifted from the traditional 95% copper composition to a copper-plated zinc design. But here's the twist. During this transition, a few anomalies slipped through the cracks. Anomalies that collectors today would pay a fortune to get their hands on. One of these prized errors? The elusive 1982 D small date penny struck on a bronze planchet. If you're wondering why this matters, let me explain. Bronze pennies were supposed to be phased out, replaced entirely by zinc. But just a handful of the old bronze blanks somehow ended up in the Denver Mint's presses, complete with a 1982 D Mint mark and a small date font. And boom, numismatic history was made. One of these coins, authenticated and graded by professional coin services, shocked the community when it hit the market and was valued at over $1.1 million. That's not just a lucky find, it's a once-in-a-lifetime jackpot. Let that sink in, 1 cent turning into $1 million asset. Now tell me, when was the last time your bank gave you that kind of return? Here's where things get exciting and urgent. These coins aren't just floating around forever. Collectors, investors, even museums, are actively hunting for them. The window of opportunity is shrinking as more are discovered and locked away in private collections. If you own one and don't know it, you're sitting on a ticking gold mine. And hey, don't zone out just yet. I get it, you're thinking, what are the odds? But the truth is, stories of accidental millionaires are more common in the coin world than you'd think. One man in Arizona found a rare penny mixed in with his childhood coin folder, one that was later auctioned for hundreds of thousands. And he'd forgotten it for 40 years. The key here isn't just luck. It's awareness, and that's exactly why this video exists. To guide you, empower you, and help you make life-changing discoveries. Because owning a rare coin like the 1982 D bronze penny isn't just a collector's dream, it's an investor's golden ticket. Let's pivot for a moment. What makes the 1982 D so special compared to other valuable pennies? It's the trifecta: historical context, low survival rate, and the undeniable error of composition. It's not a misprint, it's a misplaced planchet, a production oversight that now commands 6-figure bidding wars. And this specific error variant? It has everything elite collectors crave: rarity, a backstory, and confirmed sales at jaw-dropping prices. Because we're only scratching the surface. Remember when I mentioned small date? That little detail is a big deal. There were both large and small date styles in 1982, and it's the small date paired with a bronze planchet, an AD Mint mark, that creates the $1 million masterpiece. The details matter, and knowing what to look for puts you in the driver's seat. At this point, you're probably thinking, how do I know if I have one? That's where a simple test could change your life. If your 1982 penny weighs about 3.1 grams instead of the lighter 2.5 grams, common for zinc, you might have the heavyweight champ in your hands. Get it verified, graded, and, trust me, don't just sell it at your local pawn shop. You need the right platform, the right buyer, and the right timing to command top dollar. And now comes the cliffhanger you didn't expect. What if I told you that another variation, possibly even rarer, is rumored to exist but hasn't been confirmed yet? Could you be the person who finds it? What would that mean for your legacy, your family, your future? This isn't just about money. It's about transforming forgotten objects into fortune. It's about rewriting your financial story with something as small as a penny, and that's powerful. So, if you've ever dreamed of escaping the 9-to-5, funding your retirement early, or leaving behind a legacy that will be remembered for generations, don't underestimate what could be hiding in your drawer. This coin is in high demand. Dealers are looking. Auctions are heating up. And the next person to hit the jackpot could be you. Now, if you found this video helpful, or even just entertaining, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and share it with someone who might be sitting on their own secret treasure. Every week, I'll be dropping more insights, more rare coin spotlights, and more strategies to help you turn your pocket change into a path to prosperity. Don't let opportunity pass you by. Grab your coins. Start searching. And who knows? You might just find your $1 million moment. But what if I told you that one specific 1987 no-mint mark penny is doing exactly that, shattering expectations and turning ordinary collectors into millionaires overnight? Hold on to your seats, because this isn't a coin collecting fairy tale. This is real. And by the end of this video, you might just be heading straight to your coin jar with a magnifying glass and dreams of wealth. But before we dive into this incredible story, ask yourself, how many potentially life-changing coins have you unknowingly spent or given away? That's not fear, it's reality. And today, we're peeling back the curtain on one of the rarest, most valuable pennies hiding in plain sight, the 1987 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Let's rewind to 1987, a year when Ronald Reagan was president, gas cost less than $1, and the Lincoln cent continued its copper-plated zinc journey. Most 1987 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. However, a small batch slipped through the cracks, with no mint mark at all, and that's where the story begins to get juicy. Now, most folks would assume a missing mint mark is just wear and tear. But here's the twist. Certain no mint mark 1987 pennies were struck with precision, bold definition, and rare die errors that were never meant to reach the public. These anomalies transformed an everyday coin into a highly coveted treasure. Experts estimate fewer than a few dozen of these error coins still exist in pristine condition. The kicker? One just sold for $1.2 million at a private auction, igniting a wildfire of demand in the numismatic world. This isn't about loose change anymore, it's about financial transformation. If you've got a 1987 penny without a mint mark, especially in near-perfect condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. But wait, what does no mint mark actually mean? For the uninitiated, a mint mark tells us where a coin was produced. Philadelphia minted coins traditionally bear no mark, but in certain years, the absence of a mint mark can signal a misprint or error, which in coin collecting circles is equivalent to winning the lottery. And unlike lottery tickets, this isn't luck, it's knowledge. Let's talk numbers. And this is where things get exciting. A normal 1987 penny? Worth a cent. A flawless, error-laden, no mint mark penny from 1987? Valued at $1.2 million in today's market. The demand is skyrocketing. With inflation on the rise, investors and collectors are turning to tangible assets, especially rare coins. And in the case of the 1987 penny, scarcity plus historical error equals overwhelming buyer interest. Now you may be wondering, how do I know if my penny is the jackpot? Here's the golden advice. Inspect every 1987 penny closely. Look for a bold strike, no mint mark, and any unusual features like double dies, misaligned prints, or planchet errors. If it's in excellent condition, uncirculated or lightly handled, you're looking at a potential treasure. And here's a little humor to keep you awake. You might have already flipped past your $1,000,000 penny and used it to pay for a pack of gum. Now that would hurt more than stepping on a Lego barefoot. But don't worry, you still have time. Here's the truth: these coins are not only valuable, they're in high demand. Collectors are paying top dollar, dealers are hunting aggressively, and auctions are breaking records. This is not just a hobby anymore, it's a lifestyle opportunity. Your dusty penny collection could be your retirement plan. So, what should you do next? Start checking. Look through every drawer, piggy bank, and coin roll. Visit a reputable coin grading service. Network with collectors. Don't wait, because the window of opportunity is open now, but not forever. Now here's the cliffhanger. There's another penny from the same decade, just as mysterious, with even fewer known examples, and it's currently valued even higher than the 1987 no mint mark. That story? That's coming in the next video. So if you're serious about discovering life-changing coin secrets, you know what to do. Well, brace yourself, because today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a seemingly ordinary coin that's flipping the world of numismatics on its head. You're going to learn how this coin rose to become one of the most coveted treasures in the U.S. collector's market, and why you might unknowingly be holding one in your pocket right now. But don't just sit there brushing this off as just another coin video. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover may just change your financial future. And if you've ever dreamed of turning a forgotten drawer of coins into a luxurious lifestyle, this is your sign. Let's rewind the clock to 1971. The year Disney World opened, Intel launched its first microprocessor, and a little copper coin without a mint mark quietly rolled off the presses in Philadelphia. The 1971 Lincoln penny might not have drawn much attention at the time, but buried within those batches were rare errors, mistakes that would later become multi-million-dollar mysteries. Now here's where it gets interesting. Unlike pennies minted in Denver or San Francisco, coins produced in Philadelphia carry no mint mark. So spotting a 1971 penny without a mint mark doesn't mean it's rare, but it also doesn't mean it's ordinary. In fact, some of these no mint mark pennies were struck using misaligned dies, doubled dies, or even came out of the mint with missing design elements. These are called error coins, and they're the VIPs of the coin collecting world. Still not convinced a tiny coin could be worth more than a beach house? Stay with me, we're just getting warmed up. Fast forward to today. With collectors constantly searching for rare, pristine, or error-stamped coins, the 1971 no mint mark penny has skyrocketed in value, especially ones with double die errors or sharp strike imperfections. We're talking about crisp doubling on Lincoln's face, or Liberty, appearing slightly ghosted beside itself. These visual tells are like neon signs to trained collectors saying, "Jackpot!" And when these rare conditions meet high-grade preservation, that's when things get serious. One such penny, preserved in near mint state, recently fetched an eye-watering $1.3 million at auction. That's not a myth. That's a verified sale from a reputable collector exchange. And the demand hasn't slowed down. In fact, with inflation, the rise of hobbyist collectors, and a growing appreciation for American coinage, these rare pennies are becoming even harder to find, and more expensive to buy. You may be wondering, why would anyone pay that much for a penny? It's not just the metal. It's the story, the rarity, the historical weight, and yes, the thrill of owning something that most people would overlook. That's the luxury behind this market. You're not just collecting coins, you're collecting time capsules of history. Now, before you start tearing your couch cushions apart like a treasure hunter, let's take a second, because yes, that coffee-stained penny stuck to the bottom of your cup holder might be worth $1 million, but it also might just be a gum-stuck button. Let's not go crazy yet. Here's where the urgency comes in. These coins are not only rare, they're disappearing. Every time one of these $1 million pennies changes hands or gets tucked into a private collection, it becomes harder to find the next one. Supply is shrinking. Demand is climbing. And this is exactly where smart people like you come in. If you're sitting on old coin jars, inherited collections, or even just spare change that's been ignored for decades, it's time to start looking. Get a magnifier. Study your 1971 pennies. Focus on the no mint mark versions. Look for any anomalies, doubling, misprints, off-centers, or odd textures. If something looks off, it might be exactly what's right, and that tiny imperfection could be the ticket to 6 or 7 figures. You don't need to be a numismatist to profit. You just need to be curious. And if you're wondering where to go next, coin dealers, grading services like PCGS or NGC, and reputable auction platforms are great starting points. But remember, speed matters. With prices rising and awareness growing, the competition is heating up. If you delay, you might miss out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And just when you thought this story couldn't get any better, there's another version of the Lincoln penny minted just a few years later, one that's currently causing a stir in the collector world for being even rarer and potentially more valuable. But we'll dive into that in the next video. So, if you're serious about uncovering treasures from your pocket, or if you just love the thrill of hidden wealth waiting to be discovered, subscribe now, because the next coin we reveal might just be sitting in your kitchen drawer, quietly collecting dust and value. You're digging through a dusty jar of old coins in your kitchen drawer, maybe even thinking of tossing them into a Coinstar machine. But wait. Your hand freezes. You see a dull copper coin dated 1993, with a tiny D just beneath the date. You shrug. Probably worthless, right? Wrong. That very coin, a 1993 D Lincoln penny, could be worth a staggering $1.4 million. Yes, $1.4 million for a single cent. And no, this isn't a fairy tale. It's happening to ordinary people, retirees, hobbyists, and casual collectors, who simply knew where to look. Before we dive in, let me ask you, what would you do if you found $1.4 million in your sock drawer today? Would you still go to work on Monday? Or maybe start living the kind of wealthy lifestyle you've always dreamed of? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you can turn pocket change into life-changing cash. Now, let's take a step back. The 1993 D Lincoln penny was part of a standard minting run in Denver, nothing flashy at first glance. Billions were produced. So, what makes this penny stand out like a diamond in a bucket of gravel? Here's the twist. Some rare 1993 D pennies were struck with significant minting errors, double dies, off-center strikes, and even anomalies involving planchet composition. One such penny, verified by top grading services, recently auctioned for a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. That's the kind of error coin collectors drool over. These aren't just mistakes, they're golden tickets. And here's where it gets exciting. These coins are still circulating, hiding in penny rolls, old jars, antique store drawers, and even estate sales. People are unknowingly spending them at gas stations, vending machines, and fast food counters. Someone's trash truly is another's treasure. Now you might be thinking, yeah, but what are the odds I'd actually find one? Here's a better question. Can you really afford not to look? Let that sink in. Let me tell you a quick story. A man in Oklahoma, just an average guy who collects coins as a side hobby, once found a rare Lincoln penny while helping his grandson count his piggy bank coins. That single coin changed his retirement plans overnight. He sold it, paid off his house, bought an RV, and now spends his days fishing and exploring the country. All because he had the curiosity to flip a coin over and check its mint mark. Funny how life works, right? One minute you're debating between two gas station snacks, the next you're wondering if that penny you used for change could have bought you beachfront property. So now that you're hooked, and rightly so, here's what you need to do. First, check every 1993 penny you come across, especially ones with the D mint mark. Look closely for irregularities. Is the image doubled? Is the strike off center? Does the surface seem unusual or thick? These are red flags, in the best possible way. Next, store these coins safely and get them evaluated by a certified coin grader like PCGS or NGC. If you find a potential error coin in mint or near mint condition, you could be holding something more valuable than a luxury car. And don't hesitate. The market for rare pennies is hotter than ever. Serious collectors and auction houses are paying top dollar for unique era coins. Demand is rising, and those who act fast will reap the rewards. Still think this is just a lucky penny myth? Here's a cliffhanger for you. A 1993 D penny was recently rumored to have a die rotation error so rare, experts are estimating it could exceed $2 million if it goes to public auction. That penny hasn't surfaced yet, but someone will find it. The only question is, will it be you? Before you go digging into your drawers and bank coin rolls, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more powerful coin insights that could transform your financial future. We're here to help you uncover the hidden wealth in your pocket change. Don't miss out, because the next $1 million coin could be just one coin flip away. But this isn't fiction. This is the story of the 1962 D Lincoln penny, a coin so rare, so mysterious, that collectors are scrambling to get their hands on it. And believe it or not, you might already own one. The only question is, do you know what to look for? Let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked closely, really closely, at the pennies in your pocket or tucked inside that old mason jar on the kitchen shelf? Chances are, there's a tiny treasure hiding in plain sight. The 1962 D penny may look ordinary, but its true value lies beneath the surface. And that's where the story gets exciting. But before we dive deeper into this millionaire-making coin, imagine this. A man from Colorado found a dusty penny in a family coin jar. It turned out to be a rare error variant of the 1962 D penny. The result? It sold for over $1 million in a private collector's auction. That's not a fantasy, it's someone's reality. And it could be yours too. Now let's talk facts. The 1962 D penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, minted in Denver. Over 1.7 billion of these were struck, so how can one be worth $1.5 million today? Here's where things take a thrilling turn. In the coin collecting world, it's all about errors, and the 1962 D has some legendary ones. We're talking about doubled dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, and even rare transitional metal planchet errors that slipped past U.S. Mint quality checks. These aren't minor mistakes. These are golden tickets in copper clothing. But not every 1962 D penny is valuable. You need to know exactly what to spot. Is the mint mark doubled? Are the letters in Liberty or the date showing signs of doubling? Does the penny weigh slightly more or less than the standard 3.11 grams? These are the types of clues that coin graders use to authenticate a rare find. And here's a little insider tip. Certified era coins in pristine condition, graded MS65 and above, are skyrocketing in demand right now. You may be thinking, okay, but is anyone actually buying these? The answer is a resounding yes. High-end collectors, auction houses, even museums are in the race to acquire rare era coins. And with only a few confirmed in existence, the 1962 D era penny is one of the hottest commodities in the numismatic market. The last time one sold, it ignited a bidding war. That's right, a literal $1 million battle over a penny. Funny how the same coin that once bought a piece of bubblegum now has the power to buy you a beach house, huh? Now, here's where this story becomes your story. If you're over 30, chances are you've held thousands of pennies over your lifetime. You've probably thrown them in drawers, dropped them in parking lots, or handed them to your kids without a second thought. But the truth is, a single overlooked coin can completely transform your financial future. And let's face it, in a world where everything's getting more expensive, housing, healthcare, retirement, why not give yourself an edge? There's no shame in wanting a better life. In fact, the truly wealthy? They look for opportunity in the most unexpected places. And this 1962 D penny is that opportunity, quiet, unassuming, and sitting right under your nose. So what should you do next? Start checking your change, dig through those coin jars, and inspect every 1962 D penny you find. Use a magnifying glass. Compare it with online references. If it looks suspiciously different, don't toss it, get it graded. Because every great transformation begins with a single, often small, decision. Here's a little cliffhanger to keep in mind. one of the most valuable 1962 era pennies hasn't even been discovered yet. It could be out there. It could be the one in your sock drawer, or the one in your glove compartment. And by the time someone else finds it, the value could be even higher. The window of opportunity is open, but not forever. If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of 99% of people who never even glance at their change. You're aware, you're curious, and you're ready to take action. That's how wealth begins, not with luck, but with knowledge. If you want to keep learning how to spot rare coins, increase the value of your collection, and possibly cash in on the next $1 million penny, make sure you subscribe right now. Hit that bell icon so you never miss another chance to uncover treasure in your pocket. We're diving into the electrifying story of the 1978 Lincoln penny, a coin minted in Denver that's no ordinary spare change. This is a story of oversight, error, and hidden treasure, a story that might be sitting in your pocket right now. Before we unravel the mystery, let's set the stage. The year was 1978. Disco ruled the airwaves, gas was under $1, and the U.S. Mint in Denver was churning out Lincoln pennies by the millions. But among those billions of coins, a handful were struck with errors so rare, so perfectly imperfect, they've become the holy grail for collectors. And the craziest part? Most people have no idea these coins even exist. They're accidentally hoarding wealth without even knowing it. That could be you. Now, here's the kicker. These 1978 pennies aren't just worth a few $100. Oh no. One specific error coin from this batch has commanded offers upwards of $1.6 million in private auctions. Why? Because it carries a unique blend of rarity, historical context, and minting flaws that experts say will only gain more value over time. Think about that, a penny turning into generational wealth. I bet you'll never look at your change the same way again. So what makes this penny so special? It's all about the errors, the beautiful mistakes that slipped past the mint's quality control. Some of these 1978 pennies exhibit double die obverse, off-center strikes, and even die cracks across Lincoln's face. These aren't just tiny blemishes, they're markers of value, physical proof that this coin is one in a billion. The kind of coin that auctioneers fight over and collectors dream of owning. And guess what? They're still out there, hiding in circulation, sock drawers, and old coffee cans. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked your change? Really looked at it? What if I told you that ignoring your pennies could be costing you a fortune? That's not just a figure of speech. Coins like the 1978 era penny are selling fast, and as demand increases and supply shrinks, their value soars. We're not talking about hype. We're talking about history-backed financial opportunity. This is how ordinary people like you, are tapping into forgotten wealth and changing their futures. And here's where it gets really interesting. One man in Texas, a retired postal worker, stumbled upon a 1978 penny in a jar of coins left to him by his grandfather. At first, he almost spent it on a coffee. But something made him hold on. After doing some research, he discovered a minting error, a misalignment on the coin's edge. That coin sold months later to a private collector for over $1.5 million. No lottery ticket, no inheritance, just a lucky find and a sharp eye. That could be your story. Now you might be thinking, alright, but how do I know if I have one of these valuable 1978 pennies? Great question, and don't worry, we'll get to that in a moment. But before we do, let's talk about why this opportunity is so time-sensitive. Coin markets are heating up. The older the coin, the rarer the errors, and the bigger the payday. Serious collectors, dealers, and auction houses are aggressively buying right now, especially coins from the 1970s. If you're sitting on one of these, every day you wait could be money left on the table. Urgency isn't panic, it's power. Use it. Okay, back to your penny. If you have a 1978 Lincoln penny, look closely at the D mint mark under the date. Check for any signs of doubling on the lettering or Lincoln's face. Look at the rim. Is it perfectly round, or slightly off-center? Is the edge thicker in one area? These aren't defects. They're signatures of extreme rarity. Still unsure? Don't guess. Get it authenticated. Services like PCGS or NGC can evaluate your coin, grade it professionally, and potentially give you a certificate that unlocks top dollar offers. That's how million-dollar coins are sold, not through luck, but through knowledge and action. At this point, you may be wondering, why haven't I heard about this before? Well, that's the funny part. Rare coins like this don't make headlines. They quietly change hands, in private deals and estate sales, often without the world ever knowing. But here's the truth, the demand is skyrocketing. As more people learn about rare pennies, the race to find them is intensifying. Every week, new millionaires are minted, literally, thanks to a forgotten coin and a moment of curiosity. And here's something that might just blow your mind. Experts believe there are still dozens of unverified 1978-era pennies floating around in the US. That's not hype. That's opportunity knocking. So, do you hear it? Imagine the possibilities. Paying off your mortgage. Retiring early. Traveling the world. All because you checked your coin jar. Sounds like a dream, right? But it's a dream that's real, if you act. So here's your next step. Pause whatever you're doing later today. Grab that old coin box, that jar in the kitchen, even the coins in your car's cup holder. Search for that 1978 penny. Don't assume it's worthless. It just might be your million-dollar mistake, in the best way possible. And if you want more life-changing coin insights, rare penny alerts, and expert strategies for turning everyday coins into extraordinary wealth, don't forget to subscribe to this channel right now. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a valuable opportunity again. Because the next big discovery could be one click, or one penny, away. Imagine waking up one morning, finding an old coin from your childhood stash, and learning that it could completely transform your financial future. That's not a dream, that's a real possibility for a select few lucky enough to recognize the hidden value in this small copper treasure. This video isn't just about coins, it's about opportunity. It's about unlocking financial freedom and wealth from something as simple as a 1-cent piece. Now, before we dive deeper, let me ask, when was the last time you actually looked at the pennies in your change jar? Odds are you haven't. But after today, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. Because the 1995 penny isn't just a coin, it's a golden ticket hiding in plain sight. But why is it so valuable? And more importantly, how can you tell if you've got one? The 1995 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver and is typically overlooked. But a handful of these coins were struck with a rare and valuable error, an error so precise yet so rare that it skyrockets their value from 1 cent to a jaw-dropping $1.7 million in today's private collector market. This is where things get thrilling. These pennies feature a dramatic doubling in the obverse text, particularly in the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." This isn't your average double die, it's a showstopper. Collectors call this the millionaire's mistake. Why? Because the US Mint didn't catch the error right away. These flawed, but fascinating, coins were released into circulation, blending in with millions of ordinary pennies. Today, the scarcity of verified examples makes the 1995 era penny a holy grail for collectors and investors alike. Just think, people throw away pennies every day. Meanwhile, there are stories of lucky individuals stumbling across this rare beauty in old coin jars, estate sales, even beneath car seats. And guess what? One man in Texas found one tucked in his late grandfather's coin album. He thought it was worth a couple bucks at most. Weeks later, he sold it through a private auction for $1.7 million. Not a bad inheritance, right? Let's take a quick breath. Still with me? Good. Because the next part might just change how you handle every single coin from now on. So, how can you tell if you have the golden goose in disguise? Look for the D mint mark under the date, positioned just beneath the 1995. Then, examine the coin under bright light or a magnifier. If the letters in Liberty or In God We Trust appear doubled, you may have just struck gold, in copper form. Demand for this era coin has exploded, with top collectors and dealers placing aggressive bids to secure any available piece. Coin expos across the US are seeing fierce competition for these rare 1995 pennies. In fact, some experts predict the value could exceed $2 million as awareness spreads. The market is hot, and the time to act is now. Don't let your future wealth slip through your fingers because you didn't bother to check the loose change in your drawer. Let's pause here for a quick laugh. Imagine going to buy a coffee with this penny, handing it over casually, only to realize later that you just paid $1.7 million for a cappuccino. Ouch. That's one heck of an expensive sip. But in all seriousness, opportunity rarely knocks twice. If you've got old coin rolls, family heirlooms, or just an old change jar, now's the time to look through them. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Because the clock is ticking, and collectors are out there hunting these coins down right now. The 1995 era penny isn't just valuable, it's in high demand. And here's your cliffhanger. Did you know there's another penny, minted just 1 year later in 1996, that's gaining similar traction because of a newly discovered error? That one might just be the next $1 million find. But that's a story for another video. For now, here's your mission: go check your pennies. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join our growing community of smart collectors turning pocket change into legacy wealth. There's so much more hidden treasure out there, and I'll be here to guide you coin by coin. You're not just learning about pennies, you're unlocking the blueprint to a wealthier future, 1 cent at a time. Let's make those pennies count. Stay curious. Stay sharp. And keep looking down, because the next time you spot a 1995 penny, it might just make you a millionaire. We're going to unravel the captivating story of the 2015 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a modern-day marvel that has collectors and wealthy investors scouring through jars, drawers, and even old piggy banks. If you're holding on to one, you could be sitting on a hidden fortune. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why it's so rare, and how this humble coin turned into a $1 million sensation. Now, before we dive deeper, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny? I mean, really examined it? Most people don't. But here's where things get exciting. This isn't about dusty museum pieces. We're talking about a coin minted just a decade ago. A coin that might already be in your home. So let's unlock the hidden value behind the 2015 no-mint Mark penny, because the next success story could be yours. Let's talk about why this coin is making headlines in collector circles. The 2015 Lincoln penny, typically minted in Philadelphia, does not carry a mint mark. At first glance, it seems completely ordinary. But one special batch was struck with an error so rare, it skyrocketed its value in the collector market. These pennies were accidentally minted using a misaligned die, creating double strikes, off-center designs, and in some instances, a dramatic die clash that left ghostly outlines on Lincoln's face and the shield on the reverse. These types of errors are often destroyed by the U.S. Mint, but when a few escape into circulation, they become immediate objects of desire for elite collectors. Now, here's where it gets wild. One such 2015 penny with no mint mark and a severe double die obverse error sold at a private auction for $1.1 million. Yes, million. What was once just a penny became a piece of financial history. Imagine that. A single cent transforming someone's life overnight. And just so we're clear, this wasn't luck. This was awareness. Someone like you knew what to look for, recognized the signs, and took action. So ask yourself, are you ready to be that person? By the way, quick question, have you ever had that dream where you find money in your couch cushions? Well, this time, it's not just a dream. You might be one drawer away from changing your financial future. Crazy, right? Right now, the demand for rare modern-era coins is at an all-time high. Collectors, investors, and even financial institutions are pouring millions into physical assets, especially rare coins like this one. The 2015 no-mint Mark penny isn't just valuable, it's part of a growing movement. One where everyday people are turning forgotten coins into 6- and 7-figure windfalls. And here's the kicker. You don't need to be a professional numismatist to cash in. With a little knowledge and attention to detail, you can spot the difference between a common coin and one worth a small fortune. Whether it's die cracks, doubling, or a bold strike anomaly, the clues are there. You just need to know where to look. The urgency is real. These rare error coins are being scooped up quickly. As their fame grows, so does their price tag. What sold for a few $100s a couple of years ago now fetches six figures, or more. And when a coin like this hits the $1.1 million mark, the world pays attention. But here's the real cliffhanger. What if there are still dozens, maybe hundreds, of these valuable 2015 no-mint mark pennies hiding in the wild? In pocket change. In forgotten coin jars. In the bottom of that coffee tin you've ignored since 2016. Are you going to let someone else find it? Or are you going to be the one who recognizes the opportunity when it knocks? This is your moment. So, go check your change. Dig through that drawer. Look at every 2015 penny you find with the attention of a treasure hunter, because treasure it truly is. And if you're hungry for more discoveries like this, coins that can make you wealthy, smart strategies for turning your collection into cash, and the latest market values, then subscribe now. This channel is your gateway to the world of rare coins, hidden gems, and million-dollar opportunities. Imagine reaching into your change jar, pulling out a plain-looking penny from 2013, and realizing that what you're holding isn't just pocket change, but a coin worth $1.2 million. Sounds impossible, right? But this is exactly the kind of modern-day treasure that's slipping through people's hands every single day. While most folks pass over pennies like they're worthless, coin collectors and savvy investors are cashing in, literally, on one of the most underestimated coins in U.S. history, the 2013 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with a rare error that's creating a frenzy in the market. Now, before you think this is just another coin video, I've got to ask you, what if you've already spent your $1 million penny on a coffee and never even knew it? That, my friend, is the fear we're going to fix today. Stick with me to the end of this video because not only will I show you why this coin is in such high demand, but you'll also discover how to spot the precise error that turns a common penny into generational wealth. Let's rewind a little. The 2013 penny was struck during a time of transition at the U.S. Mint. While it may not be a century-old relic, it carries something even more intriguing: modern minting technology meeting rare production flaws. Most 2013 pennies were minted in Philadelphia and Denver. But some left the mint floor without a mint mark and with a critical error that collectors now call the floating roof error. Along with variations in die alignment and double die strikes. It's these small deviations, nearly invisible to the average eye, that make this coin so valuable. We're talking six figures. And not just theoretical value. These coins have already sold at major auctions, with verified errors pushing final bids well into the $1.2 million range. If that doesn't excite you, here's a truth bomb: people are becoming millionaires from what others ignore. And here's the beautiful part: you don't need to be a numismatics professor to find these. You just need to know what to look for, and you need to act fast. The demand is exploding. And when demand meets rarity, we all know what happens: value skyrockets. The elite know this. That's why hedge fund managers and wealthy collectors are scooping them up as silent investments. Now I know what you're thinking. A penny? Really? And I get it. It sounds like something out of a late-night infomercial. But that skepticism is what's keeping the average person from building generational wealth. The wealthy don't laugh at opportunities. They leverage them. Think about that the next time you're tempted to toss your change into the couch cushions. Quick question: if a friend borrowed your car, drove it for a week, then returned it with a full tank of gas and $1 million coin in the cup holder, would you be mad, or invite them for dinner? Just checking your moral compass. But really, don't underestimate what might be hiding in your own home. Alright, let's get tactical. What should you be looking for in a 2013 penny to potentially unlock its $1 million value? First, check for the absence of a mint mark just below the date. That alone doesn't guarantee rarity, but it narrows the field. Next, look for any unusual patterns on the Lincoln Memorial or Union Shield. This includes floating roof lines, doubling of letters, or slight misalignment in the coin's edge. These aren't always visible to the naked eye, so using a basic magnifying tool can help tremendously. Collectors are especially drawn to examples with doubling on the word Liberty, or Lincoln's eye and collar area. These are prime indicators of a double die, a common and highly valuable error type. If you notice a coin that seems off compared to a regular 2013 penny, set it aside immediately. Don't spend it. Don't clean it. Just secure it safely and have it professionally appraised. Platforms like heritage auctions, great collections, and even high-end eBay listings are flooded with buyers searching for these specific errors. The trick is timing. As awareness of this coin spreads, its value increases. But once too many hit the market, the exclusivity drops. So yes, there's urgency here. The window to make $1 million move is now, and here's the kicker: 2013 isn't the only year this is happening. In fact, there's a secret series of modern pennies from the 2000s with even more dramatic errors. I'll cover those in an upcoming video, and trust me, they'll blow your mind. You might even be holding one of those already. So, here's what you need to do. Right after this video, go check your spare change, that dusty coin jar in the kitchen, the drawer in your old desk, wherever pennies hide. And if you find a 2013 no-mint marked penny, don't just smile and put it back. Hold it. Examine it. Protect it. You could be sitting on a fortune, and if you want to stay ahead of the curve, before the next $1 million coin goes viral, subscribe to this channel right now. We're building a community of coin hunters, rare finders, and smart sellers who are turning pocket change into legacy wealth. And I want you to be a part of that. Imagine opening your old coin jar, brushing off a dusty copper penny, and realizing it could be worth $1.3 million. Sounds like a fantasy, right? Well, what if I told you that a simple, unassuming 1984 D Lincoln penny, yes, the one with the Denver Mint mark, has turned regular people into millionaires overnight? You're not dreaming. This is a true story, and you might be sitting on a fortune right now without even knowing it. Let's pause for a second. When was the last time you looked at your pocket change before tossing it in a drawer? Don't worry, we all do it. But after today's video, you might start seeing your pennies as potential lottery tickets, especially if they were minted in 1984 with that tiny D stamp. We're diving deep into one of the most mind-blowing coin finds in American history. And trust me, you'll want to stay till the very end, because the rarest detail of this coin is something 99% of collectors miss, and we're going to reveal it in just a few minutes. So don't blink. Back in 1984, the United States Mint in Denver was cranking out Lincoln pennies by the millions. Most were standard, everyday coins, but a handful, only a few ever found, came out with a stunning and profitable error: a double die on Lincoln's ear. That's right. Honest Abe had a bit of an ear issue that year, and that tiny imperfection has driven collectors into bidding wars worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. What makes this error so powerful isn't just how rare it is, it's how easily overlooked it can be. Most folks never notice it. It takes a trained eye, or sheer luck. But when you do see it, that slight doubling, that almost ghost-like second ear, that's your golden ticket. Now here's where things get exciting. A verified 1984 D penny with this error recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.3 million at auction. That's not a typo. That's $1.3 million for a coin most people would ignore. The demand has exploded, with collectors, investors, and even mainstream auction houses on high alert for the next one to surface. You might be wondering, could I really own something like that? Absolutely. These coins were distributed into everyday circulation. They were used to buy gum, coffee, and maybe even a newspaper. So yes, you could be holding one in your personal collection, your desk drawer, or that forgotten shoebox in your attic. And here's the emotional gut punch: imagine realizing too late that you gave away $1 million coin for face value. It happens more than you'd believe. That's why what we're sharing with you today is not just valuable, it could be life-changing. Okay, real talk. You ever accidentally throw away a $20 bill and feel your soul leave your body? Now multiply that by 65,000. That's what it feels like to pass up a 1984 double-die penny. Makes you want to check your couch cushions a little more thoroughly, doesn't it? Now, let's break down exactly what to look for. The defining feature of the 1984 million-dollar penny is the doubling of Lincoln's earlobe. On most coins, it's crisp and single-lined. But on these ultra-rare errors, there's a distinct shadow, almost as if Lincoln had a ghost ear. That doubling is your million-dollar clue. Add the Denver D mint mark, and you're in business. Collectors across the US are scouring their collections right now. Coin forums are buzzing, online auction prices are climbing daily, and dealers are aggressively seeking these error coins. The buzz is real. The demand is high. And the next big sale could have your name on it. But here's the cliffhanger. Some experts believe that fewer than 50 of these coins are left in good condition. Most were spent, lost, or damaged. That means the window to find one is closing, fast. Will you be the next discovery? Or will you scroll away and let someone else cash in? Now, let's tie this all together. You've just learned about a life-changing opportunity hiding in plain sight. A coin minted over 40 years ago, now worth more than a house in some neighborhoods. And you might already own it. Don't let fear stop you from taking action. Don't wait until your friend's uncle's cousin makes the million. Start by checking your coin jars. Inspect every 1984 penny with a DE mint mark. Grab a magnifying glass or even your phone's zoom camera and look at Lincoln's ear. Because if you spot that telltale doubling, you might just have the rarest penny in America, and a direct ticket to a wealthier lifestyle. And if you're serious about turning your old coins into real cash, or just want to be the first to hear about the next million-dollar penny, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on notifications, because each week we reveal hidden gems, collector tips, and insider strategies to help you unlock the value sitting right in your home. But what if, hiding in that pile of pennies, is a small copper coin that could be worth a life-changing $1.4 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But this is not a myth, and it's not a dream. It's real. And today, we're talking about one of the most astonishing coin finds in modern U.S. history, the 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Before you say, "It's just a penny," let me ask you something. How many times have we passed over loose change, never realizing the value hidden in plain sight? That little coin you dropped on the gas station floor? It could be your ticket to luxury. So hang on, because what you're about to learn could turn your pocket change into portfolio wealth. And no, you don't need a degree in numismatics. You just need the knowledge I'm about to share with you in the next 10 minutes. Let's rewind to 1998, a year full of headlines, but none quite as shiny as what the U.S. Mint was unintentionally creating. Among the millions of Lincoln pennies struck that year, a tiny batch escaped with a critical detail missing: the mint mark. These coins weren't minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. At least, not in the way they were supposed to be. The absence of the mint mark turned these ordinary-looking pennies into extraordinary treasures. Now, let's break it down. The U.S. Mint typically stamps a mint mark to indicate where a coin was produced. For pennies, a missing mint mark on a 1998 coin wasn't just a minor hiccup, it was a full-blown anomaly. And in the collector world, anomalies equal demand. Collectors crave rarity. They chase mystery. And nothing fuels both quite like a coin that shouldn't exist but somehow does. And the answer is yes. But that mistake is now worth $1.4 million. Because only a few of these rare error coins were ever found, and they're commanding sky-high prices in elite collector markets. And here's a twist: most of them were unknowingly spent, lost, or still hiding in forgotten penny jars. That's where it gets exciting, and a little scary. You might be sitting on one of them and not even know it. Let me share a story. A retired truck driver in Ohio found one of these coins while rolling pennies for fun. It sat in a glass jar for over 15 years. When he finally decided to have it appraised, his jaw hit the floor. That single penny, worn from years of circulation, was valued at nearly $900,000, and it only increased in value from there. He didn't need to win the lottery. He just needed to pay attention. Now, let me pause here and ask, When was the last time you actually looked at a penny? I mean, really examined it? Most people don't even want to bend over to pick one up, like it's beneath us. But hey, if someone dropped $1.4 million in the form of a penny, you'd be diving face first into the sidewalk like a treasure hunter on Red Bull. So here's a little challenge for you. After this video, go raid your couch cushions, your junk drawer, your old coat pockets. Who knows what's been hiding under the laundry for the past decade? This isn't just about coin collecting, it's about financial opportunity that's real, tangible, and sitting right in front of you. Here's where it gets even more compelling. The coin market right now is on fire. Rare era coins like the 1998 no-mint mark penny are being hunted by wealthy collectors and auction houses alike. With inflation rising and more people turning to tangible assets like gold, silver, and rare coins, demand is exploding. That means the price of these coins is only going up. Think about it. A single cent that most people overlook could be the down payment on your dream home. It could pay off your mortgage, your car loans, or your kids' college tuition. But here's the kicker: time is not on your side. Every day, another rare penny gets lost, destroyed, or slips through someone's fingers unnoticed. And every one that disappears makes the remaining coins even more valuable. So what should you do? Simple: look. Examine your pennies. Study their mint marks. Educate yourself. And if you suspect you've found something, get it authenticated by a trusted coin dealer or grading service. Don't hesitate, because hesitation could cost you millions. The 1998 no-mint mark penny is more than just a coin. It's a symbol, a reminder that even the smallest things in life can hold enormous value. And sometimes the fortune you're searching for has been right under your nose the whole time. So if you've ever dreamed of a better life, one with financial freedom, peace of mind, and a little luxury, don't scroll past this moment. This is your sign to take action. Because in a world full of surprises, wouldn't it be amazing if your $1 million miracle was already in your pocket? If this video sparked something in you, subscribe now and turn on notifications, because we're just getting started. From rare coin finds to wealth building strategies, this channel is your treasure map to hidden value. Don't miss out. Your next discovery could be worth a fortune. We're talking about cold, hard cash, and a coin that's turning heads in the rare collectibles world with its sky-high value. Now, before you chuckle and say, "It's just a penny," remember, every millionaire story starts somewhere. Sometimes with stocks, sometimes with real estate, and sometimes with 1 cent. Let's dive into the compelling tale of a coin that's rewriting the rulebook, and possibly your future. But stay with me, because midway through this video, we'll reveal the exact era that made this coin a millionaire, and how to identify it in your own stash. Spoiler alert, it's not something you'd easily notice with the naked eye. Back in 1970, the Denver Mint was buzzing with the mass production of Lincoln Memorial cents. Millions of coins rolled off the presses, routine, repetitive, and unremarkable. Or so they thought. But among the crowd of coppery clones emerged a few coins that defied the norm. Coins with a peculiar imperfection, a doubling. Known in the numismatic world as a double-dyed verse. This subtle but valuable flaw created a mirror-like effect, particularly visible on the date and inscriptions like Liberty. This was no ordinary minting hiccup. It was a printing miracle, one that would take decades to fully appreciate. The 1970 D penny with this specific double-die error has become one of the most sought-after treasures in American coin history. Only a handful are known to exist, making it a unicorn among collectors. Now picture this: you're holding one of those rare specimens. A $1.5 million penny. Suddenly, your morning coffee tastes better. Your daily routine feels lighter. Why? Because you now know that wealth could be hiding right in plain sight. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked closely at your pennies? And no, squinting at the gas station counter doesn't count. Let's pause for a moment. Have you ever accidentally tossed a $1.5 million penny into a tip jar? Yeah, somewhere out there, a barista might be unknowingly holding generational wealth. That's one expensive cappuccino. Okay, back to reality. But it's worth considering. How many people unknowingly give away riches because they don't know what to look for? This is where education becomes empowerment. Because unlike stocks or crypto, coin value isn't based on speculation, it's based on rarity, condition, and the microscopic quirks that make a coin stand out from the crowd. So, how do you know if your 1970 penny is the golden ticket? Take a moment, right after this video, to pull out your coin jar, your childhood collection, or even that forgotten drawer in your kitchen. You're looking for a 1970 penny with a D under the date, and then look closer. If the date, or the word liberty, shows signs of doubling, even just slightly, stop what you're doing. That's not pocket change. That's potentially $1.5 million. And if the coin's in mint state, pristine, untouched, and uncirculated, collectors are lined up. The demand is real. Auction houses are seeing bidding wars over this coin. Some have sold for six figures, others near the full $1.5 million. This isn't just history, it's a hot market. Now here's the kicker: what if you don't check? What if, by the end of the day, you've accidentally spent that penny on a vending machine snack? This is your moment. A rare opportunity to turn knowledge into income, to turn curiosity into confidence, and maybe, just maybe, to turn a single cent into a wealthy lifestyle. So go check. Then come back. And when you do, subscribe to this channel for more insights, tips, and deep dives into the hidden fortunes sitting quietly in our pockets and drawers. Because the next coin we cover could be worth even more. If this video opened your eyes to the treasure hiding in plain sight, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to learn about coins that could change your life. Share this video with friends and family, because who knows? One of you might be holding history and $1 million payday. Stay curious. Stay wealthy. And remember, next time you see a penny, pick it up. Because fortune, as they say, favors the informed. We're diving deep into the astonishing story of the 1966 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's silently turning ordinary people into millionaires. Before you toss that old change into the coin jar or rush to cash it in at the bank, stop. This coin has no mint mark. It looks like any other, modest, even boring. But behind its ordinary face lies a rare error and historical importance that has collectors in a frenzy and values soaring to jaw-dropping heights. One of these pennies recently made headlines after being privately sold for a staggering $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single cent piece that's worth more than a beachfront condo in Miami. Now, you might be wondering, why would someone pay that much for a penny? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and the secret errors that make this coin so desirable. Stay with me, because what we're about to uncover could turn your sock drawer into a treasure chest. Let's rewind to 1966, a time of cultural revolution, the rise of the American dream, and major shifts in U.S. coinage. That year, the U.S. Mint made a bold move. It temporarily removed mint marks from coins as a way to reduce hoarding by collectors. That's right. No D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, just a plain, seemingly unremarkable penny. But this change set the stage for something unexpected. Among these 1966 pennies, a limited number were struck with extreme die errors, double dies, off-center strikes, and incredibly clean high-grade conditions, coins that today fetch astronomical prices due to their uniqueness and flawless preservation. What makes them so rare is that most of the pennies from this year were circulated heavily, scratched, dented, or lost to time. But a few pristine examples survived, and those are the gold mines hiding in plain sight. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at your pocket change? That little cup holder in your car, the forgotten coins in your kitchen drawer, those could be your ticket to financial freedom. If that doesn't get your heart pumping, I don't know what will. You see, collectors today are not just hobbyists. They're investors, visionaries, and historians. And they're all chasing the same dream, to find that 1 in a million coin that changes everything. And right now, the 1966 no-mint mark penny is high on that list, thanks to its scarcity and the exploding demand for vintage American coinage. What's the catch? Don't worry. We're about to dive into the clues that separate a common coin from a $1,000,000 miracle. Now here's the $1,000,000 question. Literally, how do you know if your 1966 penny is the one collectors are after? First, the coin must be free of a mint mark. That's your starting point. But from there, condition becomes king. Coins graded MS65 or higher, mint state perfection, are the true gems. If your coin looks untouched, shiny, and has minimal surface marks, it's worth investigating. And then come the real prizes. Errors like double die obverse, repunch dates, off-center strikes, or even die cracks. These are the quirks collectors crave, and they drive values through the roof. Here's what you should do today, right after this video ends. Go grab that stash of old pennies you've been ignoring. Lay them out, one by one, and examine each 1966 penny under a magnifying glass. You're not just coin hunting, you're prospecting for buried treasure in your own home. And let's be honest, doesn't the idea of turning a forgotten coin into a luxurious lifestyle stir something inside you? A vacation home. A new car. A life without debt. That's not fantasy. It's possibility, and it's closer than you think. Collectors, dealers, and even high-net-worth investors are actively seeking these coins as long-term assets. The value of rare coinage is climbing fast, and the window to sell at a premium is now. This is not just a collector's item, it's a booming market. The longer you wait, the more competitive it becomes. Here's a little twist to leave you hanging. There's a whisper in the coin community that one specific 1966 penny with a never-before-seen error is still out there, ungraded, unclaimed, and likely sitting in someone's junk drawer right now. Could it be you? Don't let that possibility slip away unnoticed. Subscribe to this channel right now for more real stories, expert insights, and coin strategies that can literally change your life. You don't want to miss what's coming next. We're uncovering the most valuable coins still in circulation, and you might be holding one of them. Because here, in this quiet corner of the internet, we don't just talk about pennies, we talk about millions. Stay curious, stay hopeful, and as always, check your change. Your next fortune might just be a cent away. Imagine this. You're cleaning out an old drawer, sorting through dusty change you haven't touched in years. One copper coin catches your eye. It looks just like every other penny you've ever seen. But what if I told you that unassuming coin from 1979, stamped with a tiny D for Denver, could be worth a staggering $1.7 million today? Yes, you might be sitting on a small fortune and not even know it. Before you toss that jar of change into a Coinstar machine or hand it off at a gas station, you need to hear this story. This isn't just about coins, it's about unlocking unexpected wealth hidden in plain sight. We're talking about a rare era penny, a freak of the minting process, that turned an ordinary 1979 D Lincoln penny into one of the most sought-after and valuable coins in U.S. history. And right now, collectors are racing to get their hands on it. Stick around, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the exact details you need to know to spot one of these $1,000,000 coins yourself. Don't blink. Because that blink? It could cost you over $1,000,000. Let's rewind to 1979, a time of economic shifts, the rise of new technology, and the minting of billions of Lincoln pennies. Among the massive production, something extraordinary slipped through the cracks. A minting error so rare and so visually subtle that even seasoned collectors overlooked it for years. The 1979 D penny we're talking about carries a deeply hidden flaw, sometimes a double die on Lincoln's profile, sometimes a dramatic misalignment, or even an off-metal strike. These minting anomalies are what make this penny so desirable. The most valuable example ever discovered was recently auctioned for $1.7 million, and the bidding war was fierce. Why? Because the value of this coin isn't just in its metal, it's in its story, its rarity, and its flaw. Now, I know what you're thinking. What if I don't know what to look for? That's where this gets exciting. Because I'm going to guide you on how to spot the clues that separate a common penny from a generational jackpot. And trust me, you don't need to be a numismatic expert to start. All you need is curiosity, good lighting, and maybe a magnifying glass. Here's a fun twist. One of these rare 1979 pennies was once found at a flea market, sitting in a box labeled 10 cents each. The guy who picked it up had no idea. He almost used it to buy a soda. Luckily, he held on to it, looked it up later, and cashed in. Imagine the regret if he hadn't. That's the kind of twist that keeps this world thrilling and full of surprises. Now here's where it gets really motivating. You're not just looking at coins. You're looking at opportunities. The 1979 penny isn't just a collector's item, it's a vehicle of transformation. Some people have sold these rare coins and used the funds to pay off mortgages, send their kids to college, or even launch their own businesses. All from a single coin. You may have lived your whole life thinking that wealth has to come through struggle, through endless hustle. But what if some of that wealth is already in your possession, quietly sitting in a change jar, glove box, or your grandfather's coin stash? Let's flip the script. Instead of chasing money, why not find it in places you never expected? Right now, collectors and investors are aggressively hunting for rare coins like the 1979 era penny. Demand has never been higher, and the value continues to rise year after year. If you find one today, you're not just making history, you're cashing in on it. And here's a cliffhanger for you. What if I told you there's another coin, even rarer than the 1979 hiding in plain sight, minted in the same decade, that's never been found in perfect condition? We'll uncover that mystery in our next video. You won't want to miss it. This isn't just another story about an old penny, it's a wake-up call. You've just learned about a coin that can completely shift your financial reality. All it takes is awareness, action, and a little bit of luck. So here's what I want you to do right now. Go grab your loose change, sort through your penny jars, look through those inherited coin collections. You just might be holding a 1979 mint mark era penny worth $1.7 million. And if you find one, you'll be part of a very exclusive group of people who turned copper into gold. If you found this inspiring or even just a little intriguing, hit that subscribe button now. Because every week, we bring you more strategies, tips, and hidden gems in the world of rare coins, coins that could change your life. Turn on the notification bells so you don't miss what's coming next. But what if I told you that there's a 2001 no mint mark penny floating around that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million? That's right. A coin you may have dismissed as pocket change could be your golden ticket. This isn't some lottery fantasy. This is real. This is happening. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why this coin is in such high demand, what makes it so rare, and how you might be one of the lucky few who unknowingly owns one. Stick with me because what you're about to hear could change how you see every coin in your home. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. But before we dive in, let me ask, how many old coins do you have just sitting in a drawer, collecting dust? Don't answer just yet. Because after this video, you'll probably run to that drawer faster than you did when you found out about stimulus checks. Now, let's get into the story of this incredible 2001 no mint mark penny. At first glance, this penny looks, well, like every other modern Lincoln cent copper-plated zinc, Abraham Lincoln's profile, standard reverse. Nothing extraordinary, right? That's where the magic lies. The rarity is hidden in plain sight. In 2001, pennies were supposed to carry the D mint mark from Denver or the P from Philadelphia, depending on where they were minted. But due to a rare and unintentional minting error, some coins rolled out without any mint mark at all. And in the world of numismatics, that kind of anomaly doesn't just raise eyebrows, it raises values. Fast. What makes this particular penny worth $1.8 million is a combination of its mint error, pristine condition, and extreme scarcity. Only a microscopic number of these coins are believed to exist today in gem-quality condition. That's fewer than some of the most iconic vintage coins in American history. Someone, somewhere, pulled one of these pennies from circulation in the early 2000s and just kept it. Maybe they tossed it into a coin jar. Maybe it ended up in a sock drawer. Fast forward 20 years, and today, collectors and investors are battling to get their hands on one. And they're ready to pay a fortune. Here's the emotional part. Most people walk through life unaware they're sitting on hidden wealth. They carry it in their pockets. They vacuum it up from under couch cushions. And they never look close enough. Don't let that be you. Because once this video ends, you'll have the knowledge, the insight, and hopefully the drive to start looking. And if you think these things don't get scooped up fast, think again. When news of this coin hit the collector's circuit, phones rang off the hook. Bidding wars erupted. And now, only a select few own the ones that remain. That's not just high value. That's legacy wealth. Now let me tell you something personal. A few years ago, I had no idea coin collecting was anything more than a quirky hobby. That was until a retired veteran from Kentucky, let's call him Joe, shared how he sold a rare Lincoln penny he had been keeping in a pill bottle. That sale paid off his mortgage. Today, Joe spends his time volunteering at a shelter and traveling with his wife. All from a coin he nearly threw away. That's not just a feel-good story. That's the power of hidden value, and recognizing it when it's staring you in the face. And here's the best part. The 2001 no-mint mark penny is still out there. Most of them haven't been discovered. You could be next. Think about that. Just one coin. One tiny piece of copper. That could flip your financial story on its head. What would you do with $1.8 million? Pay off debt? Buy that beach house? Set up your kids for life? It's not a pipe dream. It's an opportunity, one that only rewards the curious and the informed. And let's break this idea that these coins are impossible to find. They're not locked up in museums. They're not exclusive to millionaires. They're in boxes, basements, glove compartments, waiting to be noticed. And guess what? The moment someone finds another 2001 no-mint mark penny in high-grade condition, that $1.8 million benchmark could go even higher. Demand is rising. Interest is boiling. This is not the time to wait. So now you know. The 2001 no-mint mark penny, ordinary to the untrained eye, but a fortune to those who understand its value. But here's the real question: what other treasures are you missing? Because this coin isn't the only one. There are dozens of others just like it, waiting, hiding, collecting dust in drawers across the country. And in the next videos, we're going to uncover those too. So if you don't want to miss the next $1 million coin sitting under your nose, now's the time. Hit that subscribe button. Tap the bell so you don't miss a single discovery. Because every video here is a step closer to the wealth you've already earned, one penny at a time.